Hell nah. Nothing but rails, buddy.
All we do is rails.
No.
Oops, all rails.
Heard that. All gas, no rails. All rails, no gas. Well, what do you think? We ready?
Yep.
You already started, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is the Spark and Plug Talks, season 2, episode. No, we just did 5.
No,
This
we
is
did.
6.
You announced it as 4 the last time.
This is episode 6.
Okay.
100% sure. And we've got me, and we've
J-Rod.
got J-Rod, and
Aaron.
we've got Aaron,
A-Train.
and we've got the
A-Train.
boys from Repairman.
Hey.
Yeah,
Way to go, Donnie.
Yeah, buddy. And those boys are in order of most important to least important, I guess, which I'll let them name off.
So we got Steve,
Most important
most
by
important guy. I'm Isaac.
Adam.
far. Fantastic. And what do
Least
you guys
important.
play? Steve doesn't talk.
I could.
Oh, okay.
He's got a microphone.
What do you guys? What instrumentos do y'all play?
I mainly am guitar on this thing.
He does all the guitars
I do all the guitars
and the writing, singing,
and some of the synth stuff.
and a lot of so I do a lot of synth and stuff. And I think on the album we did combined drums. I believe it was just a mix of whoever was doing it.
Mm.
Yep.
So in this setup, the Rosenhammer, we got the hammer.
We got
On
the
the
hammer
bass
on the
here.
bass.
we used to practice in here a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Sweet. Except there was a bit pool table action. in
Yeah,
the way.
that pool table was over there. And
Super hard to solo in front of it. It really just took all the eyes away from you. You know?
Just jump up on top of it, and then you do your solo.
Well, fantastic. And you guys just got done playing 3 Repairman songs.
Yep.
2 of them ran together, and with a we won't say fake, but a non-present in the room with us drummer.
What?
An
No.
artificial drummer.
He was
The
remote.
AI is taking over.
His
Yeah.
name's Roland.
It's real.
A chat,
Roland.
a
Yeah.
chat GPT.
Yeah, he keeps time.
Generated drummer.
Yeah.
Really well.
Except for that one setting where he drifts.
Yeah, you can get the drunk roll.
Was that this drum machine where we had or was that a different drum machine?
Which
We had
what?
one that would like
Oh, jeez. You
drift
talking about
around.
Grandpa?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Grandpa.
Grandpa.
Oh, it was Grandpa. That's what it was.
Yeah, Grandpa. He would just start cha-cha-cha. But that was like a
It's like a
reel-to-reel.
1930s.
Yeah.
A real.
Yeah,
No, it's
a
literally a
old,
real
Jesus Christ.
tape machine, and then you could just set the adjustments. And after it would get warm, like an hour, it would do well. But for the first part, he would use.
No, we'd be playing. It would just slowly like.
You'd have to start out at 40 BPM and
Yeah.
work your way up.
Yeah.
No, that thing's awesome.
We kept looking at each other like, "Are we fucking up?
Yeah.
It can't be the drum machine. Oh, it is the drum
On
machine."
occasion, I would see like some old documentary, a movie, something, and I swear I can hear that tape machine way back there. Like old blues type of thing. But anyway,
Fantastic. And you guys, how many projects have you guys dug into with each other? I mean, this is like Repairman's. I guess you could say is Isaac fronted,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
Stanley Hotels Adam fronted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now who does the Hammer front?
the hammer fronts everything. Anything.
Oh, okay.
No, basically, anytime we get a project going or off the ground, Steve comes in to play bass, learns it all, and
Bass man.
Honored to do so.
yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, hell yeah.
We played back in the Lancaster days, way back in the 1900s or whatever.
God damn.
Oh yeah.
He met his wife at a show.
God
actually,
That's true.
God damn it. Where was that?
Theopolis.
Theopolis?
Oh, is it Theopolis? Oh, okay.
That's fantastic. Wow.
For some
that's
reason,
great.
I always pictured the conservatory. Like, wasn't her family there once at the
At the
conservatory?
conservatory. And her parents forgot their IDs and they wouldn't let them drink.
That's right. I remember Royce or something about that.
Yeah.
The conservatory, I think, is no longer.
No,
I
it's
think
gone.
it's dead.
It's
Yeah.
underneath a building now.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Wow, it really is gone.
R.I.P.
It was a little gnarly, man. It was just a big concrete. Well, it was just a big concrete box, and the bathroom sucked. So you guys should probably feel right at
Hey
home.
man, so
at the
we're
conserva-
basically Conservatory Part 2.
Yeah.
The
I mean, this is
electric boogaloo.
probably better.
It might be a little seriously, and they would just jack up the sound. Like the volume was just as high. Yeah, it was goofy. I remember this band that was touring. It was a chick punk band, and she would just lift her skirt over her head, and the music was just like that was the '90s scene. The whole
That was the moment you were like, I'm where I belong.
This is what I want to do with my life.
God.
Yeah.
No, I don't
This is
remember
it.
we opened. Or do you remember that? Do you remember that? Then the two drummers that had fucking sheet music, and somebody would like move the sheet music for them, and they would like read the
Whoa.
fucking sheet, and they were exactly on time. I actually dug that a lot. But yeah,
That's incredible. And this was all the conservatory?
yeah, we did a lot there. I think we did a CD release party once there, and all
that was
kinds
the
of
Alchemist.
stuff.
It was a CD release.
Oh, see, there you go. He met his wife and his. I guess I,
I
was
remember
at
that
the, okay.
Yeah. Okay, Hammer.
The Hammer.
So, anyways, you guys, I guess I should give context because for people who are listening, they may not know that, we've all known each other for
Mm.
a little bit now.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
so. Yeah.
Adam and Isaac and the Hammer have all been down at their own their own studio, basically remote
Yeah.
studios down just
Uh,
right down the road here.
Obviously, Uncle Doug's the man. Doug Swindell owns.
And he'll be out. He'll be
He's
on
the
the
Lord
to
of
plug it.
land.
Yes, exactly. Yes, and
No,
you
he-
are but the
unless
princelings.
you ask Ambar.
Yeah. And we don't do that.
Yeah, Doug graciously allows us
Yeah,
to
Doug allows us to use
play in
his
his studio.
But he's played on a shitload of tracks
Oh,
that
yeah.
we've done with people. So
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably he's listed on this last project, but this is a Repairman podcast, so we'll steer it right back.
It don't
to
matter. We'll get off the
Repairman
we'll
stuff.
jump off. So Repairman came about. So you guys, I guess in chronological order, you could say you started up there, and we're just talking about starting up in remote studios here. You started with Stanley Hotel stuff, and that kind of morphed into Magna Contra, and that came about.
We've been in
Repairman.
several.
How long has the
several
Repairman
spots.
seed been planted?
That was like a year and a half ago.
Okay.
I think I just basically had a lot of songs
Yeah, I was just curious.
that were just not really Stanley Hotel songs, and Adam was saying you should just do your own
Mm.
solo album and just get these done. It's like,
Yeah,
all right,
he
yeah.
does that to people.
Yeah.
Which is real. I mean, there's one song on there, Casablanca, that we didn't do, but that one, like of all the things I've recorded with people, I was telling them that one's like sitting at the top for me. I
Mhm.
love the song so much. It's so beautiful, and he's like turned into this really great recording artist as far as like sitting at that in front of that computer. So
Losing my mind in front of
Yeah.
a
he
computer.
likes to do that.
You guys
and I
know
hate
about
it.
You guys know all about that.
I'd rather,
Been there.
do a shaker though. Like if he needs, I'm kind of the monkey. But so yeah, the cost. There's this. Whenever is that one done? Is that released yet? Have you,
It is not released, but it's done.
yeah, go check out Repairman.
Because what do you have some singles out?
There's an EP out that
Okay.
has 4 of like more of the rocker.
Okay, I couldn't
songs.
remember because
Yeah.
I know were Pigfest. You were releasing
Yeah,
some
yeah.
stuff, and I wasn't sure if you would go on the full album or. if it
No,
was
I did
more of a-
because basically I did 10, and 4 of them just didn't really. They fit together and didn't really fit with the rest of them, so we broke it up into. These
I
4
gotcha.
get on an EP, and the 6 are going to go together.
When you plan on releasing the rest of them?
Oh, when I give up on dicking around with them, basically.
Never.
They're very,
Yeah,
very,
Shaking
very.
his head.
They're
Well, I
very,
mean,
very,
how-
very, very close.
Tisk,
I just
tisk, tisk,
it's like
Isaac.
where's the song at? And he'll bring it. Here's what it sounds like. It sounds just as good as last time he brought it to me. You know what I mean? So I understand though because
Yeah.
I think the Mammoth was like I forget how long I'd spent on tweaking on, and that was a 4-track. So I mean I probably wasn't making any real changes when I was making them anyway. But
Well, no,
That was the first album you released.
yeah,
by
that was.
myself, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then we did
I
the
did
second
have
one.
Jason on it a lot.
The second one, was it 3 years that we?
The Wolf was that one. If you
There's a couple of moves in
if
there
you want
too.
to overcook the meat,
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And it's chewy and it's not juicy anymore. That's what you do. You just spend 3 years on tweaking on the kick sound or whatever.
Yeah, if you don't want to eat it and just put it on the bottom of your shoe and wear it around, that's the Wolf. It's
It's a beautiful
very
album,
overdone.
though. But
Oh, dude,
Oh,
that
it's a
album like
fantastic
morphed
album.
my.
they're still my favorite songs,
Teenagehood.
but the execution was we just didn't know what we were doing, basically.
Yeah, well, there's nothing wrong with
Yeah.
admitting that. I mean, I think it still came out as a.
yeah,
It's a
no, the
great
performances
album.
were fine. We did a lot of performances that were really cool on that album. But yeah, I do think he's talked about tackling it again. But I do say we need to go forward.
Yeah.
I mean, one day
Oh,
when
man.
like we're
going
60,
back. Yeah, I was gonna say going back and retouching stuff. That's hard, dude.
Yeah.
yeah,
It is hard
unless
to find
you
motivation
just
to do
well,
any of that. So.
I think in the ages of 60 plus, we'll probably
Yeah, if we're retired and have nothing to do. Then.
Ask Darren about it. He's about to that point. That's
Yeah.
what he said on his podcast. He said,
That's
"That's what I
crazy.
want to do. Retire."
No, I've
Playing
opened
music.
one of those files before recently and just been like, Jesus Christ. Like, there's no, I don't know. I wouldn't know where
Can I
to
smoke
start.
in here?
It's just like,
Yeah, that's fine, man. Isaac, how long have you? How long you guys been playing together?
2008?
Years. Oh.
9?
Yeah, probably something like that. I'm trying to remember how old my son was. That's kind of how I gauge things.
It's
Not
I feel like he was like
15
5
years
or
or so.
something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was like 5.
5 or 6, something
4 or
like
5, right? So he's
Yeah.
21 now.
Yeah, that was at the Fret's house in a shack in the backyard.
Hell yeah.
Where the best things start.
Yep.
In a shack.
A lot of fun.
Pissing off the neighbors. Yeah. In the middle of Edmond.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that again.
Yeah. No, we were assholes for sure.
Yeah,
we
think
were
about
playing
it.
way too loud for
Think
where
about
we
it
were
now.
at.
It's like, golly, man.
Yeah.
The cops would show up. You know, that whole deal.
Yeah.
But they were very nice. But yeah,
You're like, you guys want to listen to this? What do you think?
some of them were like,
Yeah.
hey, what's happening? They,
You know,
You guys
I've
are
written a
musicians?
couple of songs. You guys want to hear any? Just take us to jail. No, thank you.
How long is does Repairman play often live?
No,
Or is it kind of like more of a studio?
It's a studio
kind of
deal.
It's a studio deal, and he's got more songs, but it was basically, you know, when we get together, we'll start throwing stuff on the wall, and then it ends up being a combination of an effort.
Isaac, what kind of songs do you listen to and are like those are Repairman songs? And what ones do you listen to and you're like these are Stanley Hotel ones?
If it's more of like I guess like an indie, if it has more of an indie feel or,
So it's
I
like
guess-
if it could be in a movie with Natalie Portman in it. You're
yeah,
like, man,
yeah.
Then it's a Repairman
There was
song.
That's
actually
pretty
a
much.
couple of spots on the record we talked about a Wes Anderson type scene.
Yeah.
Because we do there's a lot of piano and organ. The versions he's got, I think, are just beautiful, covered in piano and organ and pretty guitar and stuff.
Yeah, they're way less rock.
Yeah, they're not
stuff.
rock and rough.
Yep.
So I'm not barking over the top of it like my usual barking at him, kind of
Is that
screaming.
the-
where-
Well, and usually if the words are more like, if they're less,
Barky.
well, if Stanley Hotel does a lot of weird esoteric, like, you know, let's talk about a god on the top of Mount Vesuvius
Sure.
destroying the universe or something like that. But like, this is more of
The
a,
things people need to be talking about.
yeah. I always look at the Repairman
do
of like, yeah, or maybe we'll start a movement. But I was thinking Repairman is more of like the concept of Repairman is you're repairing yourself, basically.
Interesting.
Repairman, you know.
Yeah.
So like any of my little
That's where Dorothy came from.
no, Dorothy is the kind of an oddball of he came up with the first line of Dorothy and he didn't really have anything and I was like, give me that. Because immediately I was like, oh, we can do all of this and I think we wrote that whole thing really fast.
Yeah, that it's
Yeah.
easy to feed him. Like, here's the idea, or
I'm very bad at coming up with ideas, but if you give me an idea, I can run with it.
Interesting.
no, it's actually it's
And
kind of
Adam's
easy.
the opposite.
He can come up with ideas all day long.
Yeah. But like the Repairman, that song Casablanca. I was sorry, I thought about the alien. But sorry, never mind. But it's full on, like to me, it's so young male in the United States these days. Like I just want to be the man, but it's all in like a kind of a video game-esque type of world.
A little
That-
retro-ish.
Well, the music isn't retro. It's really pretty. I think the subject matter is what I'm trying to say. So, like,
Yeah, it's a little.
the
Yeah, it's got that kind of box around it.
the
in a
idea
little
of
way.
battling the demons and
Mhm.
or
Well,
battling
and
the big
that
boss.
that whole song was I was playing Skyrim, and like
Incredible.
Fantastic.
may or may not have been stoned playing Skyrim, and
Absolutely amazing.
As we all do
it just
from
like
time to
popped
time.
in there and just like, oh yeah. So there's like
Dun-dun-dun, 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 dun-dun.
there's like battling hydras and moonlight candelabras and you know all
Jason
kinds
was
of
here.
wild stuff like that.
He said,
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, Jason
Yeah,
was here.
he leaves those around. We
Yeah.
found 3 or 4 in the studio after they got done recording their
Yeah,
drums.
they only blazed up 2 or 3 times.
I feel like it was
Yeah.
more than that. But
Well, they had to play the first song to make sure that they didn't sound like garbage.
Right.
And then they were like, "All right, let's do it."
It's time.
Yeah. And Eric
Time
was
to
like,
blast off.
"Try this, man. It's peanut butter." You know, he's like, "That's a great stick there on the palate." They really.
Eric's like he's like a wizard of just like
He's like a literal weed tester.
He's like, you need to smoke this one first,
yeah.
and then in about 2 hours you're gonna smoke this one, and then you're gonna go back to this one, and then we're going to the moon. And it's
He
just
gave
like-
Aaron one,
right.
and Aaron
it's
was
no,
like,
no.
"This just tastes like Worcestershire sauce." And he was like, "Wow,
Yeah, it tastes like Chex Mix Bold.
It
I believe
does.
that's what he.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chex Mix. Yeah. So who's really the wizard here?
Yeah.
Probably what they called it at the shop. It's like, I got the strand of Chex Mix Bold. I'm like, oh, yeah, sure, man.
What's the schedule? So you don't have any kind of like schedule release for Repairman or anything like that?
No, it'll be out.
I vaguely remember you telling me like last. I was like, "You guys want to play Pigfest?" Repairman. I think Adam was like, "I think Repairman." You know, I said, "Okay, you guys want to play Pigfest?" You're like, "Yeah." And I was like, I was making teasers for everybody, you know, for social media and stuff. And you were like, "Don't worry about it. I'll get all the social media shit put up there." And I was like, "Okay." And then I remember going, and I was like, "Oh, he's got to have it done because this is about 3 months later." And I was like, "Oh, he'll get to it."
That is my most hated thing in all of anything to do with music is any of the promoting and
Yeah,
social media
it's
stuff.
not fun. It's
No, it
just
sucks.
more of a
I-
hassle than anything.
You'd probably be pretty
hate
hard
it.
pressed to find someone who's like, "Oh, I love it."
I know.
Right.
You know?
No, nobody likes
I
to
think
do
people are addicted to it, and people do
Yeah.
it
Right.
subconsciously. But I don't know if someone's just like, "Oh, finally, Facebook."
it. Yeah.
Well, it's
You know.
how do you
Well, when
get,
it comes time for me to do it, then it's like, no.
Right.
I do not.
we talked
wanna
about
do this.
how do you get views? You know what I mean? And he's mentioned, well, we could just get a snake and let it bite you, you know, for fucking 5 minutes. You're gonna get views.
Yeah.
And while your song's back there, that's
Yeah,
what-
play the song in the background.
It's
and watch
either
somebody
like
get
something
mauled.
really obscure and gory is going to get you views, or
Right.
some half-naked chick. and
It's
then
usually
like, they don't
a
do
young
anything
girl.
impressive, and it's just like,
Yeah.
cool, she has 8 million views. Wow.
Right.
Oh
Yep.
man, weird things take off for weird reasons.
Yeah.
I mean, that one country dude that just
Whatever that was, I heard something of that. The
Richmond,
latest
north
deal.
of
Yeah,
Richmond.
I didn't even
the
heard it
dude
yet.
with the big that
Oh yeah,
red haired guy with the big beard and everything. That guy's never played a live show in his life.
Right.
And that song has like
it's
whatever it
number
is,
one on the country charts.
65
Is it really?
million.
Yeah.
Well, it's number one on iTunes, like just in
Whoa.
general. You know, he's looming
Damn.
over fucking like
He's got
Luke Combs.
Luke
and-
Combs and T Swizzle beat.
Yeah,
T
So-
Swizzle.
T Swizzle.
he's looming over both those, which is insane. And he literally played like his second live show ever, like this past
And it's
week.
I haven't heard it, but it's probably
Wild.
it's a little political
It's
type
it's
of.
Oh,
very
yeah.
it's very political.
Yeah, it's like
so that's kind of like getting bit by a snake.
there's
over
a
and over
cool
again.
there's a cool line in it where he says, "If you're 5'3" and 300 pounds, our taxes shouldn't be paying for your fudge rounds."
Yeah,
And for whatever reason, I had a buddy that was like, "Fuck yeah!"
It
You know,
connect,
I was
it's,
like-
well, I guess it connects with people
I
then.
guess, it wasn't even like these, you know. And there's other lines in it about how it's basically slave labor making us work, and all these people in Richmond, north of Richmond, get super rich, and we don't do anything. But for whatever reason, the
Oh, okay.
5'3", 300 pounds,
Have you heard it,
taking,
Steve?
taking the
That-
fudge rounds,
What'd
really
you say,
stuck
Steve?
with
and
him.
it's like he
That
says
feels-
some line about where
That feels like a personal.
you're going to
Yeah, exactly. Like he knows.
He
he just
dated.
knows
He
someone.
dated a 5'3"
Yeah. He's
girl
like,
that he's
"You
not
fucker."
happy. Yeah, he's not happy with.
But didn't he make like an Epstein reference or some shit to it as well? Like
Yeah, man.
something
There's all
about
kinds of.
Oh,
coal
man.
miners, not
Interesting,
just miners
I
on an
guess.
island or
I don't
something,
know,
like,
something
that.
like that.
It was pretty
Oh,
funny.
Whoa.
There's some Easter eggs in there for sure. I guess. Thank you. Whatever his name is, like Oliver Anthony Richardson or something like that. But yeah, he's got it going on, man.
What would Steve say? What's the difference in Repairman and Stanley Hotel?
For me, I think the Stanley Hotel stuff is, at least to date, the stuff that I've heard and done so far. It's very more like, well, like Isaac said, the lyric content is definitely more storytelling.
Right.
You know, that your style of lyrics. That I've
Pawnee
listened-
Bill type
yeah,
shit.
and then-
No, dude,
and more,
Pawnee Bill
more
rips.
Americana kind of style, and then Repairman, you know, is just more in that kind of alt rock.
Mm.
Yeah.
But not like some of the shit you hear on Alt Nation or whatever.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
you know, nice
Yeah.
alternative rock, good lyrics. I just different vibe.
Interesting.
Yep.
That's pretty cool, man. You know, because sometimes it's hard for you guys. Don't seem to have any problem with it. Doing different projects with the same people and getting some not radically different, but definitely different sounds.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's pretty. Sometimes that's kind of fucking hard, you know, because it's hard to separate those. You know, bring out everyone's individual. I guess
Right.
because you guys are kind of playing different instruments in a way in some of the stuff.
Yeah, I do think consciously sometimes it's like, all right, like who's getting to. Truthfully, it's a lot of guitar and keys. Like who's going to be doing them because his
Mhm.
flavor of keys and mine are completely different.
Right.
He's shockingly weird to me. Like when you hear something really strange,
That's
and
hard
weird,
for me
it's-
to believe.
it's
That he's
probably
shockingly
him.
weird to you.
It's probably him, but I told him, I was watching him, was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I could tell he was just like, almost,
I don't know how to play keys.
Right.
That's the secret, is that you don't know what the fuck you're doing, and you just start
But
hitting
it's
things that you
great.
think sound good.
You know, so that I think kind of like that. Like on Magna Contra, it was relying on DW's crazy drums, those are all one take
Yeah.
Jakes, which when you listen to them, it's shocking. And then when you meet DW, it's like, is that the same guy?
I've thought that so many times.
Dude, he is so
He's-
funny. He's just so Charlie Brown.
He's very
and then when
Charlie
he sits
Brown.
on the drum set, he's animal off.
And
I'll
he's got-
never
he's
see
got an
him
8
any
arms
different
of
from being
Vishnu
asleep in
inside
here
him.
in
Right.
that chair that was over there.
Right.
Yeah.
Just walking in and being like, what's that hulking mass over there? And he's like,
Right.
scared the shit
He's
out of me.
in Taiwan now
Yeah.
teaching kids English, which is, I wish there's a Netflix series going
I
on.
know. I so want a TV series about DW.
Try
Me
it.
and Dub.
What is this, a prawn? Be great. But yeah, I think it's like Magna Contra was let him kick ass, let Isaac kick ass, let DW kick ass. You know what I mean? Like open them up, like take the muffler off or whatever. And then I think that's also the thing. We kind of hone in it almost bow ties itself at some point. You're like, well, that song doesn't work anymore.
It's kind of interesting though, because a lot of people, that bow tie, a lot of people don't. It's hard for people to find that, you know, and to notice or to realize, I guess, that it's like there it is. That's what we want to capture.
Man,
you
it seems like to me when you try to, and we haven't written a hit song, but
We've written many hit songs.
well,
Just
okay,
nobody listens to them.
no one
or
knows
cares.
them yet.
Yeah.
Like Jason's Theory,
Right. Yeah.
we've written them 100 years ago, whatever.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
we're
yeah.
just
But,
we're just
Yeah, you're
chasing
just
them.
chasing
We're
after
just
it,
chasing it
catching
right
up
now.
to it. Yeah.
No, it seems like the ingredients for something like what I'm talking about is the music, the lyric, and the person delivering it, like his actual face and words and all of that. Like a good example would be like Harry Belafonte, that Deo. Like
Mhm.
that's perfect. Like when you step back away from it, all of those things touch each other really well, and it makes this beautiful piece of art, kind of like Prince and Raspberry Beret, that kind of thing.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
he kicks ass. That music, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
But take anything out of there, move it a little bit, and it's like, nah, that don't work.
Right, like I couldn't sing Deo, and it would be it'd be a shit song
Right.
if I sang Deo.
Or
So-
if one of us tried to play the timpanis or whatever in Deo,
Right,
like, it would
right.
not. It just wouldn't work.
So I think if you're talking bow tie, that's kind of what I try to do. And with bringing in other people, like doing a Jared project, Lexa just left. We kind of viewing it like that's Lexa's voice, and how do we make that?
At the forefront, you know, kind
Yeah.
of highlight
Have
that.
it-
Yeah.
It's
And
a lot of
highlight
thinking about
the
like what
individual and
what
they
is the
want.
sound of this thing, and
Mm.
don't put any of our other stuff into that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, I mean, it's like the other day when I was telling them when you and I were in the studio, I came in with the song one way and then it came out something
Sure.
completely different. So
Yeah,
It's
if you're open to anything, then yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's. What
I
I
listened
like
to
do.
Alexa's stuff. Grant showed me some of the tracks, and it's pretty amazing because it's definitely not something she would have done on her own.
No,
it's
no,
like
no.
it's a really cool, like beautiful, warm, rapped, kind of late '60s, early '70s kind
Right.
of singer songwriter pop thing,
Right.
almost in a way, with like sprinkles of folksiness, you know?
Yeah, like we wouldn't have done that.
right.
on
No,
our
it's
own.
very, very interesting. But I can
Yeah.
immediately tell that it's you.
Really.
And, yeah. Well, it's like I was telling him. I was like, I think Adam's signature touch is like
Hmm.
if there was just like a warm switch,
Oh, right.
You know?
Yeah.
Except when you're like angry. And
Right.
then there's like angry warm.
Right.
Yeah. So some of the Stanley Hotel songs,
There's-
that's like angry warm on there.
It's
There's a
lukewarm.
lot of on Magna Contra. There's a lot of
There's an angry warm. Yeah. There's some very angry warm.
yeah.
But that's I thought that's definitely to me after because I mean I've listened to I've just been around it so much, you know, all of your stuff.
Mhm.
So I've just listened to it
Yeah, you were
so
a child.
much. And
He was a kid.
dude, Stanley Hotel, when those songs first of all, it kind of irritated me that you changed the name from
Tony Brown.
Tony Brown.
Tony
Yeah,
Brown.
because I was like, I
I
love
like-
that name. And then I was like, as I got older, I was like, does it make sense? Yes. Do I have to like it? No.
Right.
But I do
got
like it.
Tired of having to answer who
Yeah,
Tony Brown was.
It was a thing of like, it was a great name.
This
Nobody
is Hootie.
got it.
This is
And
the
it was
right,
Blowfish.
right. It felt like
Yeah.
Hootie and the Blowfish.
Right,
This is
yeah.
Tony. This is Brown.
Right, right. And they were, and if the name were like some kick-ass name like Tony Chainsaw or something, they would never ask me. But
Right.
because
No, I
it's,
get that immediately.
because it's Tony
Chainsaw.
Brown, they're like, that's boring as shit. And
It's
so
like, wait,
I would,
but is he a guy?
I would have to explain the stupid
like, no,
story,
he's
which
me.
I'm not gonna do
But that's not your name.
about that.
It's a
So
long-
yeah, I like to
Yeah.
picture that Tony Brown's still alive and he's in Reno just drinking and doing drugs
Just
and
rambling,
Or
singing.
staying
Yeah.
down Reno.
Yeah, just still,
Tony's,
yeah. He's still-
Tony's got a room.
He's got that permanent.
He's got a room at
warm,
Stanley Hotel.
Angry warm
basically.
switch on.
Yeah, he just drinks the whole time though.
Fantastic.
That's how we kind of look at Stanley Hotel. Of like, it is kind of a hotel of like
Right.
a bunch of different weird stuff lives.
So
in
it
this
is
place.
a Wes Anderson film. in a
Yes,
way.
it
Basically,
is. And
yeah.
and we get to
Yeah.
bring in other people and start, having guests at the hotel
Mm.
essentially.
Mm. Very
Yep.
interesting.
So it's also the Shining Hotel, right?
Oh.
So
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's definitely two sides to that coin.
probably
Yeah.
yes.
You guys, what's the next project?
Well, we've got a couple going on at once, but for Stanley Hotel, we're doing kind of what we call a Stanley Dan version, right? So it's all slicked out. And I've got
He's got a bunch of good.
a bunch of good rips, and
What
I've got
about,
a buddy coming to sing him who can sing way better than me.
Oh, okay.
And so we're going to be working with him, and he's
Oh,
he's-
interesting.
Yeah,
pretty
we've
cool
also
with
figured out that we are better when somebody else sings our stuff.
yes. The other
I think it just allows you to concentrate a little
No,
bit
that's,
better.
that's
on what
legit.
you're
Like
playing.
one of those
I-
things. Like when you can step back
Yes,
and focus on
that's
the
what I was
one
gonna
thing
say.
you're doing, it lets you open up and be more creative.
Well, also with
personally feel
Lexa, it was just so easy to like she sang it and it was immediately good, and then you're just like, oh, well, the music part's easy.
Yeah.
This was
Right.
going to be the shitty part, and she
Yeah.
just did it in one take, and it was fantastic. So like, cool, this is great. We don't have to do our 57 takes of
Mm.
vocals. to
Well, like,
get
That's
good.
interesting because I like singing, but when it comes to like tracking drums, which I have done a lot now, I'm always like, God damn, this kind of sucks. Like after like 6 hours, I'm like, instruments suck.
yeah. I actually like that. We like the nerd out of playing them on the
Yeah.
track. It does get
Yeah.
fun, and when it is like take 30 though, I get. But yeah, we do like especially drums because you kind of have to zen out. Like you can't
Yeah.
think of anything, and then what'll happen is like, I wonder if those jeans are done in the fucking washer. Damn it! I screwed up
Exactly.
again.
Yeah, just stop.
Yeah.
Start
You're like-
over.
You're like, when did I get this sweaty? Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No,
I need
happens all the
wristbands.
time.
Yeah.
Happens all the time. What about Repairman? Does Repairman have any? You've got to get this whole pie out of the oven first.
Yeah,
being
yeah,
the
yeah.
album, and then after that, you have plans
I've
to
got
go back to
like,
it.
I think it'll just be a thing of like, I'll come up with 4 or 5 songs that seem to go together and record those. And put them
I
out,
think what it
you know?
is we've kind of come across is we've got Stanley Hotel, Repairman, and Magna Contra, and we seem to kind of write different things. And on occasion, we'll be like, I came up with the Magna song. I'm going to put it in the tank, and then we'll get
Man,
to
that's super. I don't know. That's like kind of a pretty foreign concept in my mind.
it.
It's
I
like,
guess.
for me,
Yeah.
it just seems like right. Like I don't know. But I guess since the projects are already established, it makes it a little
Yeah,
less.
they kind of have their own flavor, and you can tell pretty quick of like which
Right.
one, this is gonna be-
Stanley Hotel is a little bit of a garbage can, though. I will say that.
Yeah.
Like it seems to get like what's left on the table swept into it, but and the other ones are too like
Oh,
real
poor
specific.
Stanley.
Ah, no, it seems to be like we did that kind of. The Moose was kind of quasi country-ish, right?
Yeah, it had tinges of that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right. And then the Wolf. Seemed like we did some other ones.
The Wolf was not. Oh, we did.
You did the
well,
remix version.
We did 2 mixes of the
Oh
Wolf.
yeah.
2 versions of the Wolf.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes. The little Michael McDonald
Yeah.
barely getting in that.
Yeah, I was almost there, dude. I know. It's just. I remember you saying like, I said because that's my favorite off that remix one. That's my favorite track. And you were like, "Oh yeah, man, it was snowing outside."
Yeah, he
It
was saying
like-
you must only listen to this when it snows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the only time it makes sense.
Yeah, and it did, and I listened to it when it snowed, and I said, I get what they're saying. It made sense.
Particularly on Repairman, though, speaking of vocals, like we ended up finding a version of Isaac, because there's, your range is whatever it is. And we were finding this kind of middle range, and he would double it, and it kind of sizzled in a John Lennon-y type of thing for me. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
It's like the dual, like when you hear, "Don't you love her madly?" and you can hear the two gems going at it.
Mhm.
So that was the trick on his to get a lot.
Yeah.
of
Once
his
we found
lyrics.
that, everything made a lot more sense.
Mm.
Like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, this is that guy.
And just
do
about
that.
everything that we make, listen to it on headphones, please. Like listen to it loudly on headphones, because there's a lot of good shit he's doing that you're probably not going to hear
If you're just kind of
out in the room, or just playing it in the room. But
Do you guys put everything you guys make? Do you put a label on anything? Is it like you just say it's out of remote studios or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much.
Yeah.
And knowing that we are going to start another one before that one's finished, and really not, it's about making the music for us, right? But and that's why we want to open the door and start playing with some other folks.
Yeah,
because I know that they will, and they will want to.
Our favorite part is coming up with the song. Like
Yeah.
the actual we have 2 guitars and we're coming up with words or getting chord changes down. You find the magical one. We're just like, oh shit, that's it. Let's just do that.
catch that lightning in a bottle.
Yeah,
And
the
then,
lightning in the bottle
And then
feeling.
the recording is can be pretty fun, and then the mixing sucks. And then
I feel like you definitely
well,
you
and
may
then
induce
after
some of that
is-
pain on your own.
Yes, I think it does.
But Aaron, can you relate to that though? Like inducing your own pain on mixing, trying to be a
Oh
perfectionist.
yeah, you never get to walk out of the building. That's the last you hear for it for 4 months.
Mm.
I listen to it in my car
Mhm.
religiously, and then I over listen to it. I tell myself not to listen to it,
Yeah.
but then I get curious about listening to it again. I listen to it, think about it, and you mix it. And then you're like, what the fuck did I have a problem with this? And then you find a new problem to have with. And then you fix that. And you're like, see, I fixed this one problem. And
Create another one.
Dylan's
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I didn't hear that problem to begin with. I
Right,
was like, well,
yeah.
it was there, and it's fixed now.
Right.
So you're welcome.
You're
you go crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you literally start to go
And
crazy.
so, yeah, you play on it, you write it, play on it, mix it, master it, and then you don't listen to it for 4 months. Then you listen to it again on iTunes. You're like, fuck, man.
Yeah, the iTunes
That snare's too
thing.
boinky sounding.
I know,
Shit. How did I not hear that?
No, I have. There was that
Yeah.
20-hour Tom Petty documentary, and there was the guy that I forget which song they're talking about, some famous ass Tom Petty song.
Refugee. where
And
they
he
did the
said
drum
that he'll
takes.
listen to it
Yeah.
on the radio and be like, I wish I'd have done that snare different. So that guy,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? He even trips out on it.
Yeah, I mean,
so-
come on,
Yeah.
man.
right.
No, everybody does it. But,
But I do love the mixing process. I like fucking with different plugins. I like having excuses to go buy plugins.
Right.
Yeah,
So I'm like, if I
right.
buy 2 off Waves, I get one free.
yep,
So-
I've done that many
And I do
many
need this
times.
Doppler effect for this one song.
Oh,
so
we're-
I guess I'll buy that.
We've been listening to the same recording podcast and shit, so
Yeah.
it's a world, and it is nicer than listening to political shit. I will say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That is-
But the mixing stage is definitely the last one in line. Performing is number 1. 2 is like the actual tracking. The actual tracking of it is my favorite. Like miking shit.
Do you guys like performing?
I love performing.
Do you?
Performing's a close first, but I like fucking with mics. I like turning dials and shit. Like trying to get shit right at the source, which
Yeah.
doesn't always work because then you're like, fuck it. Well, let's fix it in post.
Yeah,
I'm not going to fuck EQ in it right now. Let's do it later.
yeah.
We definitely are trying
We-
not to do that more.
We're
It's-
trying
yeah.
harder. Yeah,
You literally got to like tell yourself, like, I want to see it through. We're going to take
Yeah.
8 hours to record
Right.
drums.
It's this weird mental battle that's like it's like a strange marriage of like compromise now and do it now,
Yes.
and you'll like yourself
You'll
later.
have a better relationship in the
Yes.
future with this kick drum.
Yes. Yeah, you got to give yourself therapy.
Yeah.
You and the kick drum.
Back when Dylan lived up here, I think he listened to me do like solos on Moses shit, like
Hours.
Mm.
Hours.
2 hours just hearing like
Yeah.
that. I'll start
Hours.
playing shit, then I'll play like fucking Dookie in the middle. I need a
Mm.
break, and I'll start playing like Green Day shit.
Yeah, he'd be like,
And then I'll just go back to
what
it.
the fuck is going on out there?
But even then, I kind of like doing it just because I like fucking with shit.
Yeah.
And
No, I've done guitar days where I'm just like, you don't need to come up here today.
Yeah. Guitar
Like,
days are nice because it's just you.
Yeah, it's like you don't need to listen to the 87 takes that
guitar
I'm
days.
going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, drum days are always. Or now I tell myself like, go out there, make sure the kick drum's not out of the hole.
Right.
Because there's been a couple times where I'm like, that was a great take, and I look out there and the
Ah.
fucking kick drum's like
Right.
out of the port.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, I think we gotta redo this one. I think you fucked up right here. Definitely not because I fucked up on the mic.
Right.
You see right here, you fucked up. We gotta redo this take.
Sometimes it happens.
You guys ever comp drums?
I try not to, but there's times where you hit it. We're just like, dude, 9:30 on a Tuesday.
Right.
There's a bridge where you break out. Let's just hit it from that spot.
Right.
No, if there's a
Yeah.
dead spot in the song,
Yeah.
it's like, yes.
Yeah, well,
just get to here.
Yeah, the more we've done it, the more we've started hitting those dead spots. We're
Yeah.
like, all right, let's just
Yeah.
fuck it.
They're
let's
pretty
just do
few
it.
and far between, especially if I'm doing drums, just because, I don't know, I'm still not over the mental, like, go beat a pussy, God damn it, just play the whole thing through, so I do try and get the whole thing, and every now and then, after X amount of hours, whatever it is, after you've hit that point of no return, then I'll cave, and I'll be like, oh, fuck, okay, it's one chorus at the very end that I need to hit this crash going into
Right.
it, we'll cut it right there. And it's almost like sacrilegious burns me coming out of my mouth.
And the worst part is when you are listening back to it, there's an obvious point where you fucked up, and we both just don't say anything. We're like,
Right.
sounds good, man.
Yeah.
We're like,
that's
You're like,
true.
don't
trying to-
acknowledge
Yeah.
it.
trying to break out of that, where you're like,
Yeah.
no, it's not good. It sounds like shit. We got to redo it. Before
Yeah.
we've been like, yeah, it sounds good. We'll just comp it or something.
Right.
Yeah.
There's like 14 other takes here to choose from. I'll just go through them all. Like, trim out that shit.
Mhm. Yeah, but it's like we tell people, we grew up in a weird, like, a lot of people cut their teeth in terms of just music in general, playing live, like just randomly starting to play live. But we just started fucking around in the studio. So it's like a weird,
Yeah.
I don't know, we've definitely got a different relationship to studio stuff than I think a lot of,
We're not scared of
People do.
clicks, that's for sure.
yeah.
I got over that fear a while ago. I still hate it, but I still
Yeah.
put the Logic drummer hi-hat on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit what anybody tells me.
Yep.
I will always incorporate a hi-hat in there because it's just so much more.
It's so much easier.
As soon
to
as you
play
do
with.
it, the person immediately like calms down.
Yeah.
Right.
Instead of having that don't.
Oh yeah.
Even if you try to go through like the wood blocks, the
Yeah.
different settings in Logic, they all sound like ass.
Yeah. Yeah. Why do they do that?
Why
It's
can't
like,
you just have a hi-hat sound?
It
I don't
cuts
know.
all the way. It's like the worst worst noise.
And then
ever.
you're like, I don't hear the click anymore. And then you're like, I'm on it. Then it's like, then it comes back.
Yeah,
and you're like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
no, I'm not on it. The hi-hat's it's natural.
No,
It's
we've
just
gotten
back
to
there.
where we get as close a beat as possible on the Logic drummer, and like we just do the click track to that.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like we just like it's pretty close, but it's
Mhm.
on time, and we just need the scratch track
Mhm.
Exactly.
to be on,
Yeah.
and that's it.
So, how long have you guys been like not playing together, just in general playing your instruments? Like, when did you start, and what got you into it?
I started like when I was in 6th grade.
Bought his
Oh,
first
yeah.
real 6 string.
I got my first guitar when I was, I think, 13,
Okay.
and I was terrible,
Yeah,
as
as we
as
all
you
were.
are.
That was 60 years ago.
And
now.
then
Goddamn,
I mean, it feels like it. And then I think I was like, oh, I'm bad at guitar, so I don't need to play this. And then like 3 years later, my cousin Derek is a phenomenal at every single instrument that he plays. And he started getting into bands and stuff, and I was like, man, that looks fun. I need to do that. So I went and took lessons for, I don't know, like a year or something like that. Just enough to like, I could do power chords now, you know, and then just started playing in a band with him, NDW. And we did that,
You're telling me you didn't blow the fuck up?
Frequency Bliss.
Frequency Bliss, back in the day.
That's awesome.
We played like fucking 79 shows one year.
Jesus.
And we tried to do the little, tours here and there, and it was just like,
Headed down to Dallas this weekend, boys.
Yeah. And then
That's cool, man.
and then it turns out that Derek was immensely talented and just like, oh, I'm going to go play with Starlight Mints and Chainsaw Kittens, and now he plays with the Flaming Lips. It's just like, yes, you should go do that.
Whoop-de-doo, Derek. Jeez.
It's like,
Derek's really cool.
and then I didn't really
He
play with.
joined Tony Brown though. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Amen to that.
Well, and then I didn't really play at all. I played in like a cover band, which was interesting for like a year.
How was it? Besides interesting.
It was interesting because I was 25 and every person in the band
Was 50.
was older by 10 years. Like the bass player was 35,
That's definitely
the drummer
interesting.
was 45, the guitar player was 55. And it was just the full spectrum of what. And finally I was like, I don't want to play Sweet Home Alabama anymore.
What?
Oh,
And
dude.
it's just like,
Don't get me started on that shit.
and pretty soon after that, I think I started going over to your place and doing stuff. So
What about the Hammers origin
Steve-O,
story?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
That would have been high school. I had a buddy who played guitar, and I'd never played an instrument in my life. And he said, "Hey, man, I'm gonna put a band together for the talent show." It was like sophomore year, I think.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, I can play bass, maybe. You got a bass?" So we had to bum a bass off of somebody, and then I can't remember the song, so I got some tabs and learned how to play. What was it? It was Lenny Kravitz song.
You Gonna Go
Are You
My
Going
Way?
Operation. There's an Operation Ivy tune, and I forget the other one. And so we had a band called Electric Mayhem throughout high school.
Oh, that's
That's
kick-ass,
Pretty
man.
good name, actually.
that's pretty good. Yeah.
Obviously, we didn't come up with that name, but so and we were shit. There's a recording floating out there somewhere.
We
but
should
it's so
find.
bad.
We
So
should
bad.
find all everybody's shit recordings.
And then I met Chad in college, and that's where we
Mm.
came to Chandler and started Lancaster.
Yeah.
Didn't really do much after Lancaster. And random side projects with Chad and Mitch.
Mhm.
And then actually Katie, my wife, even played or came and sang in one of those at the conservatory, actually.
Hmm.
But no, and here I am now.
And then he just popped out of a hole in the ground one day and over there at the studio.
No, Adam called me in the Stanley Hotel when they were wanting to go play. He was like, "Hey, man, you want to come play?" Like, hell yeah, I want to come play.
That when I saw you guys at the brewery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did attempt to go out and play.
They
That was
did
fun.
only do the hoo-hoos in Pawneeville twice.
Only 2.
Yeah, I can attest to it. 3 times would have been a
Not good.
little much.
Leave them wanting more. That's the thing.
Fantastic. What about you, Adam?
I think it was actually
The first time you ever heard Granddaddy
yeah,
change your life?
that did. But I think it was
The
the
swells
house.
and the Crystal Lake.
The house burnt down, and we had to. Was that before or after the house burned down? Anyway, I'm pretty sure it was me and your dad, like in the pool room, because I don't remember why, but all of a sudden Dustin started taking guitar lessons. He was really, really good, and the '90s grunge shit was going on. So anybody who could play a guitar, you could write a song that was pretty close to what's on the radio. And so Dustin started showing me all the chords and things, and of course we, Uncle Doug's studio. And then was that before then? Anyway, right in that world they're crazy enough to let the kids go in and just play all the instruments. And so we would put on like Mellencamp and play that album really loud, and we would learn how to play bass and drums to that specific album, by the way. So I'm sure
Scarecrow on the farm.
yeah. So I'm sure your grandma still, I don't know, they still may like it, but we played it a lot.
Dad busts that album out every now and then.
It's a classic, man.
Yeah.
He's not a Cougar fan.
Yeah. Oh,
This
dude, you
guy
don't
over
like. That's because you haven't yet heard the. She had a baby named Freedom,
Oh my God.
and they had another. They were married to the 4th of July.
I'm sure.
I think the problem with Cougar is I just don't believe him. I just don't believe that he's like really singing about shit that he knows. Like,
because he's not. But what's it matter?
I know.
He
you heard
sings it
Some
somewhat.
people, but some people are just like, you've convinced me. I like that.
Have you
And
heard his
Cougar,
latest stuff?
The what?
Like the latest stuff
No.
he's come out with? Dude, it's his voice.
Oh,
in there.
yes,
it's
yes,
like
yes.
This total
It's all
gravelly,
gravelly.
man. It's
Oh,
awesome.
Right.
It's great.
It is good. No, I do
Nice.
like that. So yeah, then we did some junk recordings, your dad and I,
R-O-C-K in the USA.
and then yeah, playing different bands and things. But
Hell, man. What's that one post? What's the story behind that one poster that's up in the studio up there that's like Freak Show or whatever? Like it's got the...
oh my god,
Oh,
That
Oh,
was-
Ripley's
that
Believe
was-
It or Not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what is that?
the worst show
that was really bad.
we've ever done.
We
Why was it so bad?
It was
long
so
story
bad.
short, we do a video shoot. We meet all these people, and they were like, "Well, let's do a show." And we were gonna play. They really liked a song called Cannon, and then what's the other one? Lightning Hands. When
Oh, I don't remember the name, but I know
a
it.
Mammoth song.
Yeah, it's a Mammoth. They're both Mammoth songs.
Yep. So anyway, that was a show that was put together and then tanked pretty hard due to a lot of drinking. Not only me, like there's a lot of things.
No,
that went-
that was a train wreck coming from a long ways away.
right. And you know, I remember
that we were just like, this train's fine.
You were
Fine.
like,
Don't look at
the train was moving really,
yeah. It's
really
like, don't look at the
slowly.
wheels.
DW
Don't look at the
actually-
fire on the
remember
train.
We were like about to start, and DW's like, "I'm drunk and afraid."
Yeah, it's like,
like
I'm
saying
drunk
that
and scared.
Behind the drum
You're
set,
just
and
like,
we're
oh,
oh
shit.
god. And so of course it was
a long night.
awful.
It was.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the performer, she was really great. I forgot her name, but sword swallower type thing.
Yeah, they would like staple dollar bills to themselves.
You,
and
you know
shit like
that
It was-
that thing,
yeah.
whatever people do. Yeah.
Fantastic.
But they were great.
No shows like that in the future?
I would. I would.
right.
You
We,
heard it here
we would be
first.
better. we would be better than we, were on that day.
an actual band this
Yeah.
time and bring on the sword swallowing and all that stuff.
What
But
era was that? Was that Tony Brown?
That
That
was,
was-
Wolfie time.
Yeah, that was
Right.
right around
Red
there.
Reno, that kind of
Okay.
crap.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
But-
what's left in the what's coming up in the next couple months for because you're in besides Repairman, besides Stanley Hotel, you're also in
Oh, Bad Athlete. Yeah.
Yeah. You do stuff. You guys do stuff there as well.
Yeah.
Playing and all that
Um,
good stuff.
Yeah, we're playing a show next Friday at the Opolis.
Cool, man.
Um,
That'll probably be the time this comes out.
and then after that, I think we're going to record a bunch of stuff. We have a bunch of songs that we play a lot that we just haven't recorded yet.
Oh, gotcha. Very cool. All right. Well, what's the temperature like up there? You guys doing a bunch more? You said you're having a lot more artists in, different artists in, stuff like that. Kind of opening the doors up a little bit.
Yep, open the doors up and continue to write songs and try to use other singers basically.
Hmm.
And it's like we talked earlier, getting out of the way, and we can actually objectively look at it, and it's been enjoyable for us.
Nice.
So
Well,
Yeah.
cool. So you guys can anybody listening can find Isaac fronted Repairman. Which how many singles? You have four.
There's
four
a
songs.
4-song EP out,
Yeah.
and then I'll have the other 6. I swear
When
to
it-
God, I'll have them out.
they're good. They're the good ones too.
The good
man.
ones,
That's what's
yeah.
killing me.
Awesome. Okay, so they'll be out soon enough.
Soon enough, very soon, very soon.
Yeah, and in the meantime, you can listen to the 4 songs that are out already under Repairman. You listen to Stanley Hotel stuff.
Magna Contra,
Magna
Bad
Contra.
Athlete.
Yeah.
Bad Athlete.
Yeah,
Bad
Bad
Athlete's got
Athlete.
good stuff.
The Hammer here's going to start his own podcast about bass instruction, and
It'll be terribly boring. Don't listen.
that's just a good advertising right there. Now people have to listen to it.
It'd be
Steve's
a good,
got
oh,
it
you
figured
could call it The Rose and Hammer.
out. Ooh.
Yeah,
See, there
that'd
we
be
go.
The perfect podcast name.
It is.
Yeah.
All right, this has been Spark and Plug Talks season. It doesn't matter. Anyways, I'm Dylan.
I'm
That's
J-Rod.
J-Rod.
That's me.
All right, and this is signing off. Thanks for coming out, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.